you want to do the things you want to do, but you have to be kind of smart about it. But know yourself. Know yourself. In this situation, can I just hit the bricks, hit the ground running, and go? Or do I need to slowly ease myself into it? You see, for me, discipline is more like that. That is a muscle that you build. And that's how I approach discipline. Hello, and welcome to another episode of balancedact. My name is Juan, and today I want to talk about discipline. So discipline on the practical side of things is key. There are also some things I touch on it on the metaphysical side of things. So we're going to look at both sides. Let's go for the low-hanging fruit and look at discipline on the practical side. So you could look at pretty much any teacher on the practical side. Where you look at Patrick Bet-David, to a Jordan Peterson, all the way down to Joe Rogan or a David Goggins. You're going to see that discipline is the key to success. There's a saying from Mike Tyson where discipline is doing something that you hate as if you love it. And I love that saying too. And I think there's a lot of truth to that as well. Now, discipline on the practical side of things is basically making a plan and sticking to the plan regardless to how you feel. So if you say to yourself, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to work out 5 days a week for 1 hour, you do that regardless to anything. Nothing stops you from doing that and reaching that goal. I'm going to do this in order to lose 20 pounds within 2 months or whatever it is. The idea is, even if you may fail that goal, you do everything that you plan to reach that goal. You learn from your mistakes, and then you try again if you don't reach the goal. And no matter how you feel, no matter what gets in the way, no matter what it is, short of being like deathly ill, you do the thing. So you may agree with that or disagree with that. So, if you wake up and you say 6 a.m. I'm going to the gym, you wake up at 5 a.m., you're like hell to the no, go back to sleep. You lack discipline. So now if you look at it from a more metaphysical side of things, now, if you look at, say, Abraham Esther Hicks, when she teaches the law of attraction, she teaches it's all about how you feel, which is the exact opposite of what the practical teachers would teach you. It doesn't matter how you feel. You do the thing no matter how you feel. And what she says, if you do that, you kind of slam yourself against resistance and you won't have as good results if you care about the way you feel. So what she teaches is basically about doing things in the right timing. So if you don't feel good about something, she teaches you to kind of back off of that thing. So if you're trying to make money, more money, I make $60,000 a year. Now I'm going to work to make $75,000 a year. And if you don't feel good about that, maybe now is not the time to take action towards that goal. But when you do feel good about it, then what she teaches is not only do you go for it now, but now you look at it. You take more a detailed look at what you want to do. So you kind of feel inspired by it. Oh, okay, now's the time to start making this money. I feel good about making this money. So now you start looking at your plan a little closer. So okay, so so how are we going to do this? Okay, so we're going to job search. We're going to get up in the morning, 3 days out of the week. We're going to job search for 2 hours after our job that we currently have. We're going to take this class, start this new class up, and then, boom, by the end of the year, I should find a new job that's making the $1,500 more. As I finish this class, I'll have the right kind of, I have the right new skills that I need to get the raise that I need, whatever the plan is. And that's when you start putting things in action. So you start taking the right action, so to speak, when you feel good about it. Because you don't feel good about it, got this resistance against it, then things aren't going to move as fast. Things aren't going to go as well as you would want because you have all this resistance against this thing. Now, there are some things to look at regarding both sides of the coin, right? So you can look at what Jay Shetty says. So Jay Shetty, when I first heard of Jay Shetty, he was being introduced. He was being interviewed by Deepak Chopra. And when he was being interviewed, he said that there are 2 different roads to life. There's happiness and success, and they're 2 very different roads. And they're two very different goals. So you can be happy and not be successful. And you can be very successful and not be happy. They're two different things to go for in your life. And I definitely agree with that. I definitely see, we've all seen it in real life. You hear about multimillionaire, billionaires, the hottest celebrities killing themselves, committing suicide at their peak. You hear about these guys on Wall Street, and all they have to do, they get through the day, they have to do all types of different drugs just to get through the day, and they're not happy. They're severely depressed. And then you hear about poor kids in Africa and India, who are like the happiest people in the world. You see these videos of them smiling gleefully in the middle of dirt with no clothes on. So yeah, we've seen proof of that in our culture on both sides. Then you could also look at another person. His name escapes me, but he had a book I read a couple of years ago, and he was talking about, he's a motivational speaker, also a self-made billionaire. He was talking about this idea of you want to do the things you want to do, but you have to be kind of smart about it. So if you're 150 pounds overweight and you don't exercise and you get inspired and you're like, now's the time, beginning of the new year, I just saw my doctor or whatever it is, I just got this new girlfriend and now I'm going to go to the gym 6 days a week, 1 hour each time. I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to get in shape. Now's the time. So he says what happens is that inspiration will last you, maybe if you really are serious about it, a month and a half, and you're just going to burn yourself out and you're just going to stop. And I think a lot of us, self included, have been there. So what he said is you have to look at the situation realistically, and you have to look at yourself. There are certain things that we can just straight up jump right into, or on the opposite side, if there's something trying to stop, like maybe stop smoking or drinking, some of us can just cold turkey stop drinking, right? And others have to kind of wean ourselves off, need some assistance, need to go to AA, whatever it is. Stop smoking, need to do the nicotine patches, need to do the nicotine pouches, need to wean ourselves off, maybe get a vape, go down from smoking, maybe vaping, to then stopping eventually. Some of us could just stop. And some of us can just, boom, hit the brakes, start going to the gym, boom, let's go. And we have a new routine in our lives. Some people need to go twice a week for 30 minutes, get used to that. Once that becomes nothing, then you build up to going 3 times a week, 30 minutes, 4 times a week, 30 minutes each day. Once that gets easy, maybe still go 3 times a week, 4 times a week, bring it up to an hour, work your way up to that 6 days a week, 1 hour each week. Work your way up to it. But know yourself. Know yourself. In this situation, can I just hit the bricks, hit the ground running, and go? Or do I need to slowly ease myself into it? You see, for me, discipline is more like that. That is a muscle that you build. And that's how I approach discipline. So I look at the situation and I judge it from how I feel. How do I feel about this situation? This is something I want to do or need to do in my life. How do I feel about it? Do I feel like I can just jump on in? Or do I feel like I need to build myself up to this? Because you'll know how you feel, because you're like, all right, I want to start doing this podcast more regularly. Do I feel like I could just jump in and be like, okay, boom, I could go ahead, start doing this podcast and have it out once a week on time, every Monday, plus have advertisements out for it. I can do that every week. Can I? Can I really? So what I do is I systematically go through the process of doing that within my head and see myself doing it for a month and then the next month, along with all my other responsibilities I'm already taking care of. Can this be done? If not, then I build myself up to it, even if it's painful. I might be like, oh, it might become embarrassing coming out with a podcast once a month. Whatever. Come out with the podcast once a month. All right, now I can do it once a month. Once every other week. Okay, great. Not advertising a podcast, just putting episodes out there, right? Okay, now I got episodes out there once every other week. I build myself up to once a week. Once I get used to that, Now let's start advertising a podcast. And even the advertising, I'm taking baby steps. Just put one little ad out there on Instagram. That's it. And now perhaps I could build myself for doing it a couple times a week, and then perhaps one day I could build up to doing it daily, while still holding down my job, while still being able to go to the gym, while still taking care of my other endeavors, my other responsibilities. So to me, discipline is really up to you. But the idea is find the best way for you to reach your goal. But be kind to yourself in a way of understanding who you are and what you are, and find the best path to make sure that you will eventually be able to get it done. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you for joining me for another episode of balancedact. May you find the road to your own well-being. Excuse me, my goodness, let's start that over again. May you find the path between the practical and the metaphysical to your own well-being. Love you all. God bless. Peace.